how Eric had apparently run over a few cats that he owned with a lawnmower. Obviously, you can kind of guess what happened to those cats.
No,
Else who was on the call
and I won't go into specifics, but things that were said about him that weren't true, that was being brought up at big brand deals. He's lost, I think, sponsors before because of shit like that. Just that energy and that climate. I'm like, that's fucked up, man.
This is
like,
just
come
the
on,
tip of the Eric
it's ridiculous. But
it's pure jealousy, though. It's always people who are like at the bottom of the food chain and not getting anything and just want to bring other people down.
Eric Maynard. Now, for some of you, this may trigger some very bad PTSD, okay? But for a lot of you, probably not, because I've not seen any videos made on this guy, who's a leaker, Redditor, and apparently a PDF file, okay? So this is just another one of those characters brought straight out of the dumpster fire we love to call YouTube.com. And today we're going to be basically just going over what the fuck happened to this guy, because he just kind of all of a sudden disappeared without a trace. So our story begins with the John Rizzo characters. So this guy's actually pretty cool. You guys should go check out his videos. I would highly recommend. But basically what happened was he was in a Discord server with Eric Maynard and a bunch of their other friends. And basically one of John Rizzo's friends kind of was a bit of a weirdo and had some cheese pizza, let's just say, on his computer, if you guys know what I'm trying to say. And Eric Maynard basically was calling Rizzo, you know, a bad person for having all this stuff, or for being friends with someone who had all this stuff. And John Rizzo was like, okay, bro, I'll kick him out, but I'm also going to kick out your friend Eric Maynard because he's being toxic in our community. And it turns out that Eric Maynard went absolutely fucking apeshit on Rizzo for this, and he started exposing and trying to ban everyone in the server. Basically, this guy was making up lies about everyone in their community and basically just trying to expose and pinning everyone together, which absolutely is a dick move, and you should never do that. So basically, Rizzo got all mad up on him and started exposing Eric Maynard for actually having cheese pizza on his own computer. And you guys want to know what his reasoning for having this shit was? It was because it was a joke. Like, it was a joke. It's so funny to watch this person get taken advantage of. Like, are you kidding me? Like, oh my goodness. So basically, this guy eventually gets kicked from their server, and he basically starts a whole ass war with John Rizzo and the rest of the people in their community. But of course, Rizzo has some very alarming evidence against him, which we'll get into later. But basically, that's just what you got to know. This guy's not a very good person, and he likes to start a lot of drama for no reason. So now I want to introduce two new characters, okay? And these two people, think of them as the incestuous brothers of Eric Maynard. This is going to be Kaljitsu and Lucas. So this Lucas character, I don't really know too much about him. I think he's just literally another Eric Maynard. But Kaljitsu is basically like Eric Maynard's best friend, who's also like a leaker and stuff. But this guy would go around on Twitter throughout all the way 2020, all the way to like 2022. And basically would just spread a shit ton of hate to all the main COD Zombies YouTubers, which, yes, many of them are pieces of shit. But this guy would be shit-talking Milo for, like, days on end, okay? And when Milo would keep responding to him, I don't really know why. But this guy would just be talking about how Milo should be leaving the community, he's not passionate anymore, and all this shit. And Milo was just like, bro, like how are you going to tell me that I'm not passionate about the game and all this stuff? Like to be honest, Kaljitsu kind of just needed to mind his own business. I don't really know what the hell he was talking about. You know, you can have your opinion on these big YouTubers, but when you're just going on and on arguing with them, telling them to leave, like it's just like, bro, like put the fries in the bag, bro. Just grow up. Like, to be honest, this character would just join in on Eric, making fun of everyone else in the community, like John Rizzo and all them, just basically just trying to tear them down for absolutely no reason, just because they're pieces of shit. Now, it's around this time that Lucas, Kaljitsu, and Eric Maynard would all start hanging around some other YouTubers called DK Dynamite and Fajardi and The Gaming Revolution, who I could all make separate videos on, because those guys are, you know, they're pretty good, but they have some wild takes every once in a while, okay? Especially The Gaming Revolution. But basically what happened was these guys started hanging out with them and talking on their podcast, actually. They went on the podcast a couple times. And conveniently, those podcasts are actually deleted because I guess DK wanted to cut all ties with him after the events of 2022, which we'll get to. But basically, I had to try and scrub the internet to find that shit, and that shit was harder to find than my will to live. So basically, after I found these clips, you can basically just see Eric Maynard and Kaljitsu kind of weaving their way in, kind of trying to cause some drama on the podcast a little bit, but basically they're just kind of shit talking like everyone in the community, and that's all that. But basically they just needed some new friends in between the events of Rizzo and then eventually their eventual banning in 2022.
That's
for Jeff.
Yeah, sucks for Jeff, man.
But as far as hate thoughts goes, rip Bozo.
I mean, yeah, it's even like the whole thing with EDP and whoever it was that they called him up and made that video with him.
Oh my God.
I think the irony is that everybody in that situation lost. They all got struck off YouTube, all got terminated.
But turns out both of them were pedophiles and both got canceled.
Yeah,
Good.
so
we all benefited as the world.
Yeah,
the pedophiles were
that's an example too of where literally the person who accused the other of so and so also got canceled. It's like, oh, and I've seen this said about Eric. I've seen this divide, right? You know, we have leakers and data miners saying, "Oh, Eric's a bad person," this and that. I'm like, why? And then they'll name things that they themselves are. I'm like, what? You'll see that. I mean, you've been in a fair share of threads yourself, Eric, on Twitter with people out there that.
Oh yeah, really recently, a bunch of kids started calling me a racist because I said the Ray Gun Mark II leak wasn't real, and they got their feelings hurt about that. Really, it was like a week of that. Like I just muted people, so I didn't see it, but I know other people.
Basically, as time passes, these two basically just go out about their days trying to, you know, they made a couple maps like Doris Declassified, which is what you see in the background here, and they actually make a lot of storyline videos and all this different shit. Then it ends up coming out that these two are actually worse people than everyone initially thought, okay? So it ends up coming out that Eric Maynard basically was talking to someone in his Discord, one of his friends, and saying that he ran over a couple of cats with his lawnmower. Now, this could not be true. He could just be lying about this, but again, you know, why would you lie about this? But basically, it was actually confirmed by multiple people, including John Rizzo on Twitter, that this is actually something that happened, and he was laughing about it, apparently, which is kind of psychopathic, okay? I'm not even gonna lie, that is really, really weird to be something to be laughing about. Now, at the same time that this was happening, Caljitsu had actually started his own beef with Lex on Twitter, which was all about some stupid copyright claim, but then they started getting really personal with each other, and a bunch of bullshit kind of ensued after that, which actually led to Lex taking a break from YouTube, which is only something he's done, again, recently, with all the recent shit that's been going on. And then on top of the cat stuff, it started coming out that Eric Maynard was very weird. He was saying some very weird stuff, and he was almost basically being racist in a bunch of different chats and being homophobic and all this stuff. And basically, this ended up actually getting him in a lot of trouble because at the same time, he was actually being interviewed and hired at Treyarch. It's actually been confirmed that he was hired at Treyarch, and he had started basically at about the same time that all this drama started going down, okay? So this was in about 2022 when the Archon came out. That's when all this cat stuff came out and all this other stuff about him being racist and transphobic and all this stuff. That's when all this started to blow up. And while he was causing all this drama on Twitter, basically Treyarch was like, oh shit, we hired a racist transphobe PDF file who likes cheese pizza and is a huge piece of shit. So basically they just fired his ass, okay? And after that, I don't know if he got banned off Twitter or if his Twitter got deleted. I don't really know for sure. And same with Caljitsu. I'm pretty sure Caljitsu's Twitter got deleted or banned, but the other guys got just deleted, and he was basically removed from all social media. I swear to God, I scrubbed the internet for this guy. I could not find him anywhere. The only place I could find him was on DK Dynamite's podcast. So, buddy, DK, you might want to remove that shit off of your podcast, man, or remove your podcast from everywhere, because that's, you know, you're the only ties to this guy on the internet right now. So, yeah. Basically, guys, that's basically just the story of Eric Maynard, okay? We're never going to see this guy ever again, and if he is, he's definitely some Illuminati guy hidden in the shadows who's ready to raise Hitler and create a Fourth Reich, okay, for the COD Zombies community. I don't even know what the fuck that means, but basically, guys, that's it. So I'm just going to catch you guys in the next one. That was the story of Eric Maynard. The good, the bad, the ugly. The release was no good. So, yeah, peace out. Subscribe to John Rizzo.